What's up, everybody? We got to talk about FOMC meeting today, what that means for the markets, what that means for the price action. We're still chopping inside of a range we all need to be paying attention to. And if the markets do what we think they're going to do every time, it'd be that easy for everybody to get rich. This is why we got to look at the data. We are going to do this together. We're going to be talking about what's going on in this market. So if you're ready, I want to see everybody in the live chat. I want to see you drop a 1. I want to see you drop a bull. I want to see you drop a boom. I want to see everybody starting to get active in here. Let's talk about these markets. Let's do this together. What's up, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Let's talk about what's going on in these markets. Let's talk about all the things that are setting up I think in our favor, but it's all about being prepared, being in the right place at the right time, being able to hold through the terrible times. And if you're trading, then how to make sure you're managing your risk. And we're going to be talking about all this and more on today's stream. I want to see everybody, if you are here, if you are tuned in, I want to know, how are you feeling today? Are you worried? Are you upset? Are you scared? Are you excited? Let me know what your thoughts are right now in this market. I want to see it in the live chat. I'm ready to get this going. I'm ready to talk about what's happening in this market because you know what? We are setting up for something absolutely incredible. It's just all about the patience and the data to get there. So let's go ahead and talk about it right now. So first things first, let's go over to this very important screen. This is the Forex factory. It's basically the economic calendar. And this is what everybody's waiting on right now. The markets have been somewhat uncertain over the last few days about what they should be doing, where, when, and why, because of this key metric right here, FOMC statement and the FOMC press conference. So Jerome Powell is going to come out about 2 o'clock. And then at 2:30, they do their 45 minutes of regurgitated talking the same thing, saying the same thing over and over about what they're paying attention to. We'll hear Gina hop on there and ask a great question. We'll hear Bloomberg and all the other Associated Press people on there asking. And everybody's going to be dissecting, depending on what he says. If they don't do an interest rate cut today, which is not looking likely, it's about a 3% chance, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, unless it's changed in the last few minutes. But if they do not cut, and there's very sort of dovish tonality and discussion in basically the press conference, then that could be very bullish for the markets. But we got to get in here. I got to welcome you. How you doing? My name's Kelly Kellum. Welcome to the BitLab stream. I got some huge updates I'm going to be sharing with you all in the Discord, and we're going to be doing some member streams here throughout the rest of this week, getting everything back in order post a Bitcoin conference. But how you doing? Welcome to the BitLab stream. I'm happy to have you here now, but we got some things to talk about. We got some bullish news. We got some questionable news, and we got some TA we got to cover. So let's go ahead and talk about what is going on here. Let me actually log out. Let me put back on Kelly Kellum. There we go. So here we go. This is what we're looking at today. Fidelity, one of the biggest assets managers in the world. One of the other ones that have that Bitcoin spot ETF. Just listed their Bitcoin ETP, which is electronically traded product, on the London Stock Exchange. So more capital channels coming in. This isn't going to be an immediate, all of a sudden, huge push in price, but we're building the blocks. We're setting up the framework. There's so much bullishness that is building into what's going on right now. I just have to remind you on a daily basis in case you are a little frustrated. Tiggle Biddies here says, let's get after it, fam. Yes, let's absolutely do that. Shout out and thank you for everybody that is here right now. I appreciate y'all showing up on a daily basis. We're doing this together. We also have, this is where we're at in the market right now. I've been talking about this. Period. Halving is the beginning of this line. Where this line is right now is exactly where we're at. We can see it in previous cycles. See this sideways action, little pump up, little sell off, higher low, and then we lift it off. What we see back here, we sold off into it, consolidation through it, and then we had the price action push higher. When we saw back here, there was a little bit of sideways action, and this obviously went up much quicker But we're not really counting this as to what can happen now in the market because the market cap was an absolute infantile compared to where we're at now. So we're looking at these two as an analog. Between the two of these, we'll get a pretty good idea of what's likely to happen this cycle. Now, with that being said, how's that going to happen? Treasury increases liquidity. Buyback total to $30 billion. We're seeing this. This was the money coming out of the markets, and this is ticking back up. The setup, this isn't immediate. This isn't pulling the trigger. This is the gun is loaded and ready to do what it is we all are here and hope for it to do. But we can't just trade. We can't just invest on hope. We have to look at data. We have to look at the fundamentals. We have to understand what's going on. Ethan Smith says, BitLab family, let's go. How's everybody doing today? I know I'm feeling good. I hope you're all feeling good too. My voice is still very, very hoarse from talking nonstop at the Bitcoin conference, doing interviews, as well as meeting everybody and talking over loud music. It's such a good time. But let's just keep this in mind when we're wondering, is it ever going to go? Yeah, it is. We just need to let the building blocks be built. When we're looking at what's happening right now, we do see the price action has come back into this small gap. Is this the gap we need to worry about? No, this is a very close gap. If we look at this on a measurement basis, about 6% up, and we can see this is about 6% down. That's a gap for peanuts. We still have this low below us, which we very, very easily could get to. I mean, think about this. This is $70,800. Down to 65. That's a $5,000 move in a matter of how many days? Let's see this. That is 1 day and 6 hours. That's all it took for Bitcoin to drop $5,000. This is not meant to scare you. This is meant to keep you prepared. So if that's the case, if this is a basically bear flag or basically a leg down consolidation, and then we get that next leg down, I mean, is this out of the question? You have to realize this. I don't care how bullish you are long term. This is about a $3,000 move. And this is only coming to these previous lows. Now, the gap we need to be worried about is this much larger gap that we've been discussing for some time, which started back here on July 12th. And we're way over here. It doesn't feel like we're going to get there. Well, let's take out our bias. Let's look at what's going on here. What is the shape of this move? The shape of this move is up and over. This is a rounding top. We talk about this in the BitLab Academy. By the way, shout out the BitLab Academy. If you haven't signed up yet, head over there and take care of this deal. Take advantage of this deal while you still can. It's lab.bitlabacademy.com/deal. You learn everything in technical analysis, psychology of trading, on-chain data analysis. And in addition to that, you also have the great Discord we have with so much going on in here, breaking down exactly what's going on in the markets with community, also with charts and chart requests and setups and all of that community and togetherness that we want to really to explore the possibilities of success in this market. That's what this is about. So use that deal while you still can. lab.bitlabacademy.com/deal. And also, this is not, I mean, look at this rounding. If we get this move down into the zone and we go lower than this point right here, what have I been telling you for the last year and a half? If we get a move that goes down below a previous low, after this has been rounding out, the weakness of the bulls is coming in. This means the strength of the bears is growing. In this case, we might get a push up into this zone, and then we get that move down to tap somewhere within this gap. That's what you need to be paying attention to. I am not by any means saying that the price action is going to go there. I am prepared to go there if it does. Now, if we can hold where we're at right now, if we can hold the price exactly where we're at right now, let's go ahead and delete these lines. If we can hold this zone right here and push up, maybe come back one more time, there's going to be chop today. In fact, there's probably going to be enough chop that it's going to wreck people on both sides. You know, whether it's a sell-off that then comes back up like this and we get a washout down, a washout back up, come back to equilibrium, and then we start to work our way up. On a bullish case, this is probably the most likely scenario. And that would include a bearish washout. Now, on the flip side of that, we may get that move to the downside. Actually, we may get that move to the upside, get people committed long, come down, reject, and then make that move to the downside. Of course, we could very well trade sideways, but I think the market is too primed for some big moves to come because those weekly Bollinger Bands that we've been talking about have become so tight. If we double click here, double click there, this is CME Futures. Let's go to, you could do it on the future. Here we go, Bollinger Bands. Look at how tight. See how tight these got right here? We got a big move up. Started getting tight in here, and then we got the washout down, back to equilibrium, and then up. This is that kind of whipsaw I'm talking about. We're not going to get something this large, but the point being is we have got this very tight constriction of the Bollinger Bands, which means there's not, as much as you feel like there's been volatility, we're at one of the third lowest volatility moments in the history of Bitcoin when we're looking at the weekly chart. And so if we do get a move to the downside, I don't think we're going to come down here to this 41. I'm just giving you an example. If we do get a move to the downside, we may come down to the bottom side of this range. The bottom side of this range is right essentially at where the CME Futures Gap is. You see this? CME Futures Gap is basically coming down back under this 20 moving average and back into the zone. Now, I'm happy with it going either direction. I'm happy with whatever happens now because when we look at that macro setup, I'm showing you this on a daily basis because you need to make sure you know it. This is a macro uptrend. Boom. Macro uptrend. Now we're consolidating in this range. This very well could consolidate. I mean, this could consolidate all the way down here to $48,000. I don't think it's going to, but it doesn't outweigh the probability that it may happen. I think it's more likely in this sort of broadening channel wedge that we have here that we potentially come down to the midway point, which is, see right here, it's about $62,000. The bottom side of this range, $61,000. That would facilitate going down and tapping near that CME Futures Gap that we were just talking about. But it would also maintain a bullish stance in this pattern. If the price action comes down into this zone, anywhere in here, I want you to notice something. What will that do if the price action does roll over? It's so scary and comes like this. What happens? What does that do? That creates not only this large macro bull flag, but it also shows that then we'd have an inverted head and shoulders here, suggesting that that next move would be to the upside. So there's a lot of bullishness in the charts, as well as in the news, as well as in the fundamentals, as well as in the context of social media and mainstream media, and everybody's still talking about and still processing Trump speaking at the Bitcoin conference. And again, it doesn't matter if you like Trump or not. It's all about the setup for what is happening right now as we're moving in. So if we do get a pullback, realize a pullback here has a huge probability of setting up a very bullish structure, which would be this. This is on the 3-day chart, a large inverted head and shoulders, which just on this alone, let's do Option Tab, measure that head, and then we come out just like this. Just on this alone, and this isn't the total high. The breakout on this alone, if we do get something like that with this inverted head and shoulders, would be $88,000. That's the type of setup that is really nice when we're looking at it. And as we sit right now, I want you to realize we're still sitting right around this short-term holder cost basis. We've had a deviation here. We had another deviation just a couple weeks ago. But typically, the short-term holder cost basis is a very powerful in setting up what the sort of determining what sort of trend we are in. Now, I had a couple other tweets and I don't know where they went. Did I move them? Oh, I wanted to show this is the other one. This is a realized price of the new whales short-term holders versus the old whale long-term holders. Right at about this $64,000 mark. So this doesn't mean we cannot go below it, but we need to pay attention to this because there's been a lot of new large players that have come into the market. There's still a lot of uncertainty about what's going to happen with some of the Mt. Gox stuff, but we've already seen the majority of the Mt. Gox stuff that's been distributed has been essentially moved into long-term held wallets and so forth. That's what I'm trying to say. In addition to that, we also see Germany selling all the crypto, and the price held incredibly well. In addition to that, we just saw Cantor Fitzgerald, one of the preeminent legacy traditional finance companies out there, speaking at the Bitcoin conference as well, talking about creating financial products. Right? Now we see money printing being turned back on in China. And then it comes all back to this right now, because in the short-term time frame, which is what all of us are plagued to get so focused on, we got to pay attention to this FOMC statement, which is, are they going to do interest rate hike or not? And of course, then the press conference around all the tonality around all of those things. So what does it look like today with the liquidation levels? It's still, we're on the 3-day chart. All of this liquidity is up here at this $70,000 mark, which we know because we've been doing TA on this on a daily basis for the last year and a half, but specifically the last few days, we just got rejected off that $70,000 level. What are you talking about, Kelly? Well, I'll show you. Let's come back over here. It's actually this. Let's do this chart right here. It's this chart right here. Zooming in, double click here. This is that level. Look at the right side of the chart right here. You can see the price. See, as you move the mouse, you can see the price there. That's $70,000 level. That's the descending resistance line on this basically consolidation pattern that we've been in. I suspect it's more likely than not that this is a bit of a spring setup for that next move to the upside. This, again, does not discount that we can't. Let's get down to the 4-hour chart. This does not discount that we cannot have some sort of move that comes down into where? Let's go to this 8-hour chart. Look at this trend line that we have from all the way back here, from this point to this point, projected on. This would set up that inverted head and shoulders. If this comes down into this zone, which would also be about the 786, which would also be the level at which all of this price action that we were talking about, the bounces on, this would be a great target to look for, and this would also facilitate getting down to that larger gap. Do you see how all these different tools, you don't look at one thing. You can look at a number of different things and try to find confluence about where there's levels of liquidity interest, or where you can speculate other members, other participants in the market are looking for likely zones of interest. So this is why we're paying attention to a combination of these different things. Now, we've also got a couple other things I wanted to share with you. And just a reminder, if we come over here to the halving cycles, we can see that we're still completely on pace. Let's turn off 2013. There we go. And we can see we're essentially right where we should be when you're scaling these post-halving of where we're at. In fact, we may be a little high, but relatively regionally speaking, this is exactly where it should be. We're about 100 days out, 103 days out from the halving. And you can see in the previous cycles, a lot of that chop, a lot of that information. And when we come back over here, we can come to on-chain. Let's go to Quentin. He's the one that shared this yesterday. And shout out again to Quentin. It's great to hang out with him. He's sharing this as well. U.S. Treasuries coming back up. We also see people are seeing the same stuff I'm seeing, but this is what I'm talking about. This is another way to look at the cycle where we're at now. We have the halving, we have the boring zone where everybody gets frustrated. This is where the most people wreck themselves. And then this is when it doesn't look like a banana zoomed in, but look at this. This is prices from, $700 up to $5,000. This is a banana. This is basically a 10x. And this is where we're at right now with the red line is the current cycle. We're right on pace for where we should be. Let me make sure I kind of pull over here. There, I just want to make sure I don't miss any super chats or anything like that. Now, is there something to worry about? No. In the short term, we very may well, there we go. I could speak, I promise. In the short term, we very may well get some of those shakeouts in the price action. We had this rising wedge we talked about on the short-term time frame if you're trading this, this was a good indication that we're likely going to have some local peak on the small time frame. And then what we got that move to the downside. We can also see it drawn here. Got that move to the downside. Where did it bounce? It bounced right where we had this previous range top, right where we had the support, right where we had all this chop, support, rejection, support, chop. So this was a zone. This is exactly where we're finding support currently. This does not mean it's the end of downside price action. So let's look at the data. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. BitLab trading stack. Now, separate from the patterns. Maybe you don't like patterns. Price action, where to push up into? The red box. What is the red box? This is the BitLab trading stack, the volume section of the BitLab trading stack, BitLab volume. Order blocks that were put here from right here. A lot of liquidity interest dumped a lot of orders at large valuations into the order books right here. And we also see a large move to the downside. This tells us that there's, at these price levels, there's going to be a lot of liquidity interest. Again, what happened? We tapped into it just with wicks on the 8-hour time frame, rejected. Now, what does this mean? We have the price action moving down. It's come back. If it does come back up, we have another order block right here that could suggest this is a fake out. And then we come down here, test this. Either we get a W or this fails and we continue to the downside. So you cannot look at these markets in absolutes. You have to look at them in probabilities. And you say bearish scenario, sideways scenario, and downward scenario, bearish scenario. That way you can be present and ready with the strategy in place. Saw my man Kelly here, hobnobbing with Rob and Nashi. Hope you had fun. But you know what? I had such a good time at the Bitcoin conference. I mean, I got to run into everybody. Let's come back over here. Just shout out to all the folks in the space. Let's see. I shared it the other day. I mean, it was the OGs of the crypto YouTube side of things. Where's it at? Right here. I know it is. Altcoin Daily. We had Shibtoshi. We had, Sheldon the Sniper from Crypto Banter, Rob from Sin City Crypto, Benjamin Cowan, one of the best. I love Benjamin Cowan's so great. We actually have digital asset news back here. If you know, I'm actually going to be bringing them on the channel. Lord of Entry, which is also one of the streamers from Crypto Banter. Then we got Da Vinci J15. Then we got Mr. M, who also is with Carl the Moon. We got Crypto Man Ran. We got Alexander Lorenzo, Matthew Highland. We were kicking it. In at the conference there. So shout out to anybody that was there. And considering what's going on in the market right now, you know, some of us, let's be honest. Trump spoke. We all want to just explode higher from there. Some of the biggest news stories in the history of crypto have actually sent price sideways or down. Now, why is that? Because there was speculation into Trump speaking. And then following Trump speaking, it's like, okay, everybody had a good idea what he's going to talk about beforehand. So how does that move the needle? It doesn't right now. It does in the long term of how this market is going to move forward in the near future. We understand the global liquidity cycles. We understand what's going on post-halving. We understand that we're starting to get softer and friendly and actually on the verge of supportive engagement from the U.S. government around what's going on with crypto. Again, it's on the verge. I think if we have an administration change, it will be very much in favor of crypto. But all these things, that goes back to the beginning of what I said at the beginning of the stream. This is all foundational, which takes a second. For instance, if you have a house, if you build the foundation, does that mean you already have a bedroom to sleep in? No. It's the start of something that's going to be magnificent. So we've been building for years. I've been in this market since 2015, 2016. I've been through all three, 2.5 major cycles. Everything that I'm seeing right now in the long term is the most bullish setup I have ever seen in this market space. In addition to that, we're seeing the key players in the traditional finance world, the world over, starting to change their tune, starting to change their tone, starting to change their actions and how they are participating in or setting up to participate in this blockchain, Bitcoin, digital asset space, from Cantor Fitzgerald to BlackRock to Fidelity to Van Eck to Donald Trump himself. We're seeing the world start to become aware, partially because the US dollar, partially because fiat currencies everywhere are just a mechanism of control and weaponization from larger governments to shape their populace and to shape how things are playing out in the world, whereas Bitcoin is the backer of all things that are good. It's a store of energy. It's something that can help mitigate energy issues on energy grids. It's the hardest asset of our time. And if you're wondering if you should be participating in Bitcoin, did you make a smart decision? Have you not made the decision yet? What is this thing? It's printed out of nothing. Why would I get involved with that? You should be talking about the US dollar or whatever fiat currency that you're discussing. And that is not true about Bitcoin. It is the largest and strongest computer network on the history of the planet. In fact, it's larger and stronger than Amazon and Google and Facebook and Instagram and all of them combined. The Bitcoin network is stronger than that. So if you can value these other social media companies, if you can value these other tech companies based on the strength of their network, how can you not value Bitcoin? And then you layer in the fact that there's a fixed supply on an understood and pre-programmed and agreed upon on everybody on the Bitcoin network. We're going to agree on every transaction. We're going to audit this whole network every 10 minutes. That's what mining is. And then it also confirms those transactions, but then it also provides security. This is the best opportunity of our lifetime. And so right now we're looking at the price action on a 4-hour chart and we're going, oh my God, did I make the wrong decision? No, you're just being impatient. Because we've seen this. If we come back over to the BLX, go to the daily or 3 daily, look at this over time, we can see that this is up and away, but it's not a straight line. It's up and away. Okay, reset. Let's go ahead and reset and allow better opportunity. It got a little overheated, but then that proves to be an excellent area of interest to really that proves to be an excellent area of interest that really proves to be a wonderful opportunity to the upside. Look at that. That's 8,000 from that low. From this low, we got about 1,500% from that low. And then where we're at right now, okay, it's going to reduce. So let's even do, let's do, 9x. 160,000. We can go even smaller. We can do like Quentin was talking about on the discussion we had. Let's go somewhere short, something just above the 70,000, but still on the lower side of probability. Even the $100,000 to $111,000 range, which I don't see this as a possibility as ever being a top for Bitcoin. I'm not talking about in a particular market cycle. I'm talking about in the long run. We've seen. Let's go back. Let's measure this. Remember, history does not repeat, but it rhymes. Okay, now let's delete these lines and let's look at where this went to. This went to about the 3.618. This is a Fibonacci extension, the golden ratio, the math equation that describes all things in nature, the way forests organize themselves, the way markets move. And we're seeing this went to a 3.618. Okay, let's reduce it. Let's go to a 2.618 on this one. Let's go a little conservative. Where does a 2.618 line up on this? 2.618 is $157,000. And that's with not moving as much as it did last cycle. But also remember, this cycle, we have more capital channels than we've ever had, and it's only increasing. The adoption rate's only going to explode from here. Bitcoin is on a faster rate of adoption than the internet was from 1991 onward. We are growing users faster than we did the internet. And we have more capital channels, and we have governments talking about putting this on their strategic reserves. We have the whole other half of the crypto industry with the smart contracts and the implementation and integrations of blockchain and AI. This space is the best opportunity of our lifetime. But everybody, I'm going to do a little bit of TA here. And I also want to shout out our channel sponsor, powered by Arculus. If you're going to be getting involved with crypto, you got to make sure that you're not just holding it on exchange. You're not just holding it in one wallet. Make sure that you do have a crypto cold storage solution. Make sure you can protect your capital so you can protect your future. GetArculus.com, the best crypto cold storage solution out there. Uses your biometrics, uses the pen, uses your phone, and uses a card. You can lose any one of those things, and these things, nobody can steal or hack your crypto. This is the best cold storage out there. GetArculus.com. Now, when we're about to dive in, you can use code LAB10, LAB10, LAB10 for 10% off that Arculus. Now, when we're talking about, I got confused by the comments over here. We're going to talk about some TA here, and we're going to start basically setting up what we're looking at on some of these altcoins as well, because there's going to be a lot of trading going on, and it's so much, I don't want to say easier, it's so much more profitable when you have a strategy that works, you have a community that helps support you and gives you feedback and that you can learn from. And also when you have the strength of a trend, it's very hard unless you're not using good strategy, unless you're not using patience, unless you're not using a healthy approach and good risk management. When you have those things and you have a strong defined trend, especially once we break out of this level that we've been talking about that's been consolidating at previous all-time high, that's where it gets very fun to trade. And nobody should be trading with 100% of your portfolio. And if you want to trade with us, we're going to be doing live trading, live training as well, charting, setups, all that. All you got to do is sign up for Get Oculus. All you need to do is sign up with CoinW. The link is in the description. It's at the very top line of the description. If you could post that link in there, Alexander G, I'd appreciate it, and I'll pin it up to the top. Sign up there and deposit $100. It's your money. You keep it. It's just so you have money in there for you to trade with us. And I, again, recommend you doing a very small percentage of your portfolio that you allocate to trading. And then as you take profits on trading, you always rotate to the house, which is your long-term, your house. You're the house. Your long-term holder positions, like convert those profits into Bitcoin, just put it in your long-term folder, leave a percentage of it in your trading portfolio so the trading portfolio grows as well. And you allocate some to take some money out for life events, for family, for trips, for gifts, etc. This way you're utilizing the skills that you're doing in this crypto market to grow your future and grow your ability to still trade into that future, as well as being able to help fund your life. Because let's be honest, we're in this market. I don't want to just see numbers on the screen. I want to see it affecting my ability to positively affect other people's lives. And that's how you do it. So we got 229 people in the room, 59 likes. How about this? If we get to 100 likes today, I will give away one hat, an Arculus hat. If we get to 150 likes today, I will give away $100 USDT. Both will be randomly drawn. So go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell. Let's talk about these markets. Let's go back into this very precarious chart right here. You can't see it yet, I know. Total 3. This is looking at the 3-day chart. We still have quite a ways to go just to get back to the previous all-time high. 84% move on the total 3, which is all those altcoins out there, just to get to the previous all-time high. We've seen this in the past. Let's come here. Let's come to right here and do I just want to show you guys. If you want to overlay charts to see how they correlate, come right up here to this little plus symbol, click it, and then you put in what it is you want to compare. BTC USD Bitstamp. So you can, let's go ahead. You gotta kind of have to mess with it because they're on different percentages. There we go. So you see how Bitcoin is the orange line. It leads the total 3. This is the total 3 here. This is the top. Wait. Yeah. So total 3. Wait a minute. Yeah. Bitcoin is leading the altcoin market. We are setting up for some incredible gains in the altcoin market, but it all comes down to how your portfolio is diversified, what your risk management is, and also being patient. If you start seeing Bitcoin explode and altcoins aren't, and you already have positions in these, maybe you're even underwater in them, and you jump from one moving cart to the other regularly because it's out of fear, not out of strategy. There's one thing to be said about repositioning your portfolio or adjusting your allocations based on performance. But if you're like, Bitcoin's running and this isn't yet, so then you jump over, and then the second you do, Bitcoin stops running and that thing that you just moved out of then starts to go up. know what your why is, know what your positions are, because the altcoin market, we're sitting here right now on this trend line right here that we've been rejected out once. And this is essentially the metric of showing that the altcoins are truly moving. Now we have this downtrend here with this interesting movement that's actually a bit of a broadening wedge. And as we sit here, I don't think it's ready for the alts to rip yet. And I don't think it's really going to be alt season, meaning alts in general are very much outpacing Bitcoin with ridiculous and fast gains. I think it's going to be some months yet before that happens. That doesn't mean altcoins aren't going to go up. They're very much going to go up. However, we do need to clear this level. We have this massive order block here. We also have this massive order block in here above us. And then again, we still have this larger trend line that we have to tackle before things truly start to go parabolic. I'm just telling you, let's be a little bit patient. You know, I've been stacking in. I'm just going to give you a little glimpse. I've been stacking into this portfolio. I made a couple moves the other day, and I'm going to be sharing this with the BitLab members on YouTube and the BitLab members in the Discord, telling you exactly what moves I made, what I moved into, what I added to, what I moved out of. Because hey, man, this market is about to get very spicy, and so let's talk about it. I want everybody in the room right now. We got 210 people in the room right now. I guess people are not patient enough to hear what it is they need to hear. They only want to hear what they want to hear. That's not how you win. All of you 210 people that are here, you're here to win, and I love you for it. I appreciate you. Let's get it going. If you are new here, throw a 1 in chat. New meaning in the last 2 weeks. If you're an OG, and most of you are, drop an OG in chat. If you're a BitLab member, drop some of those emojis in here. Let's get this vibing. Let's do some TA. I want to see everybody put 2 coins. Put 2 coins, spam it in the chat, only once, but everybody put 2 coins in the live chat. I will dive in and cover some of those coins. While we're waiting on seeing some of those, I want to, let's see what Jason Bourne, RIP Cardano, you won't be missed. Hey, I'm just reading what Jason Bourne said. Everybody's gonna do what they want. It's not a good thing or a bad thing. People are gonna trade what makes sense for their portfolio. Why can't I delete that? And that, hey, he's not wrong for his portfolio. So other people absolutely love Cardano, but let's go ahead and make sure. Let's go ahead and do Ethereum first, and then we're going to look at Cardano since people are being contentious about it. Okay, is it Clay Rochelle? Is that here or near? Render. All right. Those of you that typed quick are going to be the ones that get it most. And by the way, if anybody does super chat, of course, there will be priority there because I appreciate the love and support there. So I'm just looking at the, let me do a couple favorites here so I can make sure they're in a list so we can make sure to do them. Where's the star? There it is. Star. All right. I want to see some stuff that I don't normally see so we can get, I want to make sure that I don't want to just do TA on stuff that I'm holding. I want to do TA on the broader market, you know? And Amy lives crypto. That's right. All right. So let's go ahead and get into it. Ethereum has very much been in a bit of a consolidation. We did see this. I don't know how all these things moved. It's like somebody came into my charts earlier. This line was moved as well. I want to, at this point, delete this broadening wedge because it's somewhat irrelevant at this point. But what we can see here is we have this support line that, yeah, we had the Ethereum spot ETF. Yeah, quarter crawler we got to do, Kaz, for sure. I'll throw that in there too. But this kind of is reminiscent. It reminds me of a little bit of Bitcoin last summer when the price was just kind of trading sideways. Maybe we get another move to the downside into this 2,900. We called this move last week before this rolled down into this 3,100 level, came right into it. If Ethereum cannot get over it, it's looking weak right now. See this? The bulls tried and they got sucked right down back below this resistance level. So this is on the 3-day chart. Let's look at the 4-hour chart. I do think, yeah, let's look at the 4-hour chart and get some context here. Get some more data on what's going on here. So, yeah, God dang it. There we go. So this is looking like it's kind of rolling over, like it's a leg down, a little bit of rise, and then continuation back to the downside. This is what my initial sort of assumption of what I'm seeing here is. If we lose this level, we're going to want to watch really this 3,200 level. And if we lose that, I think more likely than not, we are going to be coming down. Yes, we could test here, but I just have a suspicion we're going to get an opportunity down here in the $2,900 marker. But I'm open to that not happening. But we're just getting not any good money flow. The RSI is kind of just hovering at this 50 zone. If this starts pushing up, then maybe we get that move to the upside. But there's just so much work to do above us, and we're still getting out. Remember, we're still getting outflows from the Grayscale Ethereum ETF. So I think there's going to be a little bit of time still for that to sort of subside before we actually get that move to the upside. So patience right now on Ethereum. Now let me come over to my favorite so I can see what you guys were talking about. So I can see what's going on. Alrighty. You know what? We got one more trend line right here. Why is my computer doing that? I don't know if you guys can see it. My computer blinks when I press a button. Yeah, so yeah. All right, so let's see what you got. So Falco, first one up, we got Link and XYO. All right. This is, I mean, Link is, I don't know if it's being suppressed. And actually, this would be a good thing if it was being suppressed because institutions or something like that want it. But there's still a case to be made. There's still a case to be made that we do get a move. Let's delete this. I mean, we're sitting right at the golden pocket of this move. From the top to, from the bottom down here to the top, the golden pocket is right where we're sitting right now. If we lose this level, I think we may come down here into the 11.25, 11.30 cent range. But we're kind of in process of trying to build like an inverted head and shoulders. But we have all of this headache, 14.50 all the way up to 15.30, these two order blocks directly above where Link is. If we clear those, then we're looking at coming up here into that $16, $17 range that we were talking about the other day. I'm thinking there's going to be a little bit more chop in the altcoin market than there is in the Bitcoin market as some of these certainty factors sort of play out. So I'm still looking, still great DCA opportunities in a lot of your favorite alts. So that's kind of what I'm seeing right now in Chainlink. I would definitely have a buy order. Strategy advice on my end. This is not financial advice, but this high right here, this brown line that comes across, this would be a dream, sort of like probably if the price did come down here, that would be a very quick move, I think. I don't think it'd be there for long, but having a little bit of a small bag dream buy order right in here before the price runs away, because remember, Link is going to be integrated with RWAs, with the oracles between Bridge and Web 2 and Web 3 data, as well as their partnership or I don't know if it's a license, but through Securitize, but also doing some things with SWIFT, the global international payment system. Chainlink is integrated more than any other crypto in the crypto ecosystem. So anything that happens in this region for me is an absolute great opportunity. So now let's do XYO, Coinbase. Yeah, let's do that. Let me just clarify real quick. XYO crypto. There's so many damn tickers. XYO. Yeah. Okay. I met with these folks at Consensus, and they have some really great things going on. If I remember correctly. But so let's go ahead and look at this chart. We're on the 12-hour. Let's go to the 3-day. All right. So a little bit of a sell-off there, right? But we're getting that first rise coming back into this level is kind of option J. A bit of a floor here, which also does present as a higher low through in here. Boom. See that? So high or low, the intersection of these two lines somehow is right where the price bounced. If you're bullish on this, you really don't want this to lose these levels, because the next level down is going to be, I would say, in this box. Come on, damn it. Got to click 14 times for it to work. Does that happen to you guys? You try to click something, you got to click it 14 times for it to work. I don't know. But this is what I'd be looking for. If the price does continue to drop, this would be, that's not necessarily a small move. It might look small, but let's look from here. That's another 18% drop if it loses this. But this is looking like it's trying to round out, potentially form a W pattern right here. So what I'd be watching for on this is a potential move up, and we got a neckline essentially that's right in this zone. Neckline right in this zone, and then having the price action push into this zone, likely get rejected, and then start creating that higher low scenario, which is what you want to see if you're trying to see a trend reversal. Now, there's another very key trend line that you're going to need to pay attention to, and that is this downtrend level of resistance. Come through here. Oh, come on. Option T from here, come in through this zone, and we're kind of, let's do it from the candle tops, because then you get this touch, this touch, this touch, 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 touch. We're sitting right, compressed right into the zone as we speak. So, I'd be watching for a little bit of a load up. However, we still have the stochastics are already getting a little higher. We're on the 3-day chart. Let's get down to the 4-hour. What am I doing for actually looking at the signal in the moment? I mean, we're still negative money flow. We're getting the momentum wave is coming down. We almost have a bullish divergence, but it's going to take, if this can round out here and push up, then we'll have a bullish divergence on the momentum wave to this next momentum wave. It'd be very slight, very slight. So I wouldn't really be putting a lot of weight into that. This is a waiting game. I'd say wait for this to clear this zone right here. Why? Bounce here, rejection here, support here, support here, support here, rejection here, rejection here. So even this move here, unless you have, if you're a long-term holder, there's a great opportunity. I think right here, you're going to have to be able to eat it if the price does have a little bit of a further spill. But as it stands right now, this is looking like it's rounding out. I would be waiting for this money flow to flip bullish though. And I personally would wait for this price action to push up and clear, not push into the zone, but clear this zone to the upside. That's what I'd be waiting for on XYO. Swarm Markets from Jay Mizzle. Shout out Jay Mizzle. Is it SMT? I believe it is. Yeah. SMT. All right, let's look at it. This is one of those ones, those RWA plays. They got a lot of licenses. They got some really cool stuff over in Asia. And we're seeing this. We have this sort of, this is very ugly drawn. I feel like somebody came in and moved some lines on my charts. I swear to God. So we have this, essentially this falling wedge that kind of got constructed. And then we fell out under it. But look, we rejected right at this level. So this actually gives veracity to this line. And then we fell below, really strong sort of shakeout, but we've come back. Look at this. We came back above it. You see, look where the price had interaction. It's giving more strength to that this is a good line. And then the price comes up, rejects, finds support on the order block. Guys, these order blocks on the BitLab trading stack, I mean, again, head over to lab.bitlabacademy.com right there. You can sign up for free for the Discord, but as soon as you sign up for that, it's 15 days free, and then it's like 30% reduced price for the life of that account. But then as soon as you sign up for that, you can sign up for the BitLab trading stack also at a reduced price. That's not 15 days free because you can use that immediately. And you get the BitLab trading stack, which is all the indicators down here, the volume, as well as the BitLab intelligence, which is giving you signals. So let's look at this combined. We have pushing up, created an order block, price moves down, finds support on the order block. We get two bullish divergences here on the BitLab intelligence right here. And this is right, come on, put my mouse right over it. This is right where, there we go. This is right where the price action, boom, then moves to the upside. Hit the trend line, come down. We got three bearish divergences. The price tried to push down, but we got a reversal, and we're sitting right in this zone. This is telling me that it may be leaning towards trying to have a breakout, but we don't see the money flow positive yet. This purple, this means money's still coming out. So it's actually interesting this is pushing up. We're fighting to get above this weekly VWAP. Currently, we've pushed above it, but the candle is trying to hold above this. We still have 3 hours left. We want to see this clear these order blocks and get above this 68-cent level before we truly start thinking that the bullishness has stayed to follow through. Sorry, I had hiccups. Let's do, okay, so we have a business-wide meeting here in a second. So let's do something we haven't done in a while. Let's do Vet from Amy Lives Crypto. Shout out. I just typed in Amy. Vet. Let's do it. Vet USDT. Okay. Let's go to the weekly. I just want to see what's on the chart. Boom, boom. Okay, what are these lines? I don't know. Clean it up. Clean it up, Kelly. All righty. Let's see. Are we on log? There we go. Now, boom. Where are we at? Where did the price action reject? Ask yourself. Look at this. If we draw a box there, bounce, bounce, chop. Look where price rejected. If you want to know where price is going, if there's historical price action, it's going to give you interest points to pay attention to. Now, this is trended to the downside. Still negative money flow. This is on the weekly chart. So let's kind of get some information here. Now, look at where this dropped to. Where did it find support? Right at that point of control, which is this purple line. But if you don't have that on, then you can just draw. Look, all of this price action where this was chopping in and out of this range is exactly where price action fell into. Now, as it stands right now, we got a bit of a descending trend line through here, descending level of resistance. If the price action does fall further, I'm watching for a bounce at about 25.8 cents, maybe a little bit lower. I'd be watching this zone right here, 24.6 cents, this previous range top here. But I do think this is coming, this is looking like it's trying to sort of round out, maybe consolidate in here and then break out. On the way up, you want to watch, you want to watch for, that's not what I'm trying to do. Come on. Option J. You want to watch for the order blocks that's directly overhead at 28 to 28.7 cents. Once we can clear that, I'm expecting a push up into this actually, and then a likely scary move down if there's a little bit of bearishness in the market. But a break above this, find support, and then continuation of the upside. But that's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm feeling in the market. I'm very bullish on the market. Do not get chopped out of this market today because of the Jerome Powell chop and the speculations and the traps, bullish and bearish. It's likely going to have price action going in both directions today. Let the coast settle a little bit for a small period of time after that chop and after his press conference for it to pick the direction it's going to go if you're going to trade it. As it stands right now, I am macro bullish. I'm midterm bullish, but concerned. I don't want to say concerned, but cautious. And in the short term, I'm watching for chop and volatility today. That's what I see. That's what I'm feeling. Hope you're all feeling good in this market. Shout out to Falco. I just saw a $20 super chat. $20 super chat says, thanks for your analysis. I appreciate you. I appreciate each and every one of you. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and ding the bell. I don't know where my mouse is. It has disappeared. I think my computer somehow is locking up. Okay, we didn't get that 100 likes, so we'll push the giveaway to tomorrow. I'll see you guys all in there. Then keep your eyes in the BitLab Discord. I'm going to be posting some content today. If you want to sign up, lab.bitlabacademy.com/deal. This deal will be going away once we finally break past $74,000. So get involved. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for our channel sponsors, CoinW. I hope you guys come and trade with us. It's free. All you got to do is sign up and use that code. Sign up and use deposit $100 USDT so you can trade alongside us. That's it. That's all I got. Thank you again to Arculus. Have a wonderful day. Let's head over to Taco's stream right now. DJ Alpha. Adios, muchachos. Adios, muchachos. Thank you for coming. Thank you for always tuning in.